Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Ogre Battle, March of the Black Queen. Soak up this view of the island, viewers, because we're finishing it off today. Yes, today we are going to finish off Shiguld, the Ruined Island. Well, no, actually it's called the Ruined City, but as you can see, the island's pretty ruined. We heard that some disaster split it in two, and we're gonna learn about that disaster here in this episode, so... Still have a few more cities and temples to liberate, and those folks will be the ones who will let us know what's going on. So, we're slowly making our way toward the enemy base up there in the northwest corner. Bancroft's unit here, getting some more fighting in. And we missed petrifying the leader. Darn. Now would have been a good time to petrify her because she's pretty strong, so. Let's see if we can just, oh, and now our other guy missed. If we would have hit, we would have probably, I would have kept it on the weak. Would have kept, we might have been able to take out that eagle man in the front there, but nope. We'll get him next time, so. Look. Yeah, it's sad we defeated the cleric leader, another unit like that was fighting us, and now we have to have them come back and attack us again. But maybe they'll head to the east this time and take on our ground units. Orpheus, despite being outnumbered, still doing pretty good in his battles here. Of course, he has overinflated stats because of all the tarot cards that he gets, so his stats ain't really aren't typical of what his level would be. So, oof, good. I was afraid that we were gonna finish off that the leader there. We don't want them retreating again, so this is one good that our lycanthrope only, it's a good now that our lycanthrope only has like one attack. So, alrighty. That unit will keep on coming forward. And let's push our, push forward a little bit here. Take over this other city. We look pretty much in the clear over there to the east. There is that one dragon unit over there, but we'll get him. So, wow, a lot of units just appeared out of nowhere there. Time to retreat. Hopefully we can finish this one off here. So, just gotta hope our guy hits pretty hard from the front row there, our lycanthrope. Remember, we can put it on weak. That means that we'll do a little bit of extra damage. So, we'll take a little extra damage, but to finish that unit off, good trade-off. So, oh, we got an undead staff. If we had a bunch more lich, if we were using more than the 2 liches we'd have, we'd be able to make some more liches, but nope. We're just gonna go with the 2 that we have. So, that's weird. We have a Dragoneer, a Dragon Master as our leader, but and has a pretty high charisma, but for some reason was unable to recruit another dragon. That's strange. Oh well, we'll just fight it and gain some experience. Lost a lot of hit points though. Probably wasn't for the best. I should have just retreated, I guess. Oh, here's a unit that should be retreating. This cleric unit. Let's keep they just keep whatchamacallit, coming after us and after us and after us. Alright. Physical plus 16. Better, like I said, that that black death armor that we just gave the angels, probably better for her. Angels, remember, have really good white magic resistance, bad black magic resistance, so good to give her something that increases her black magic resistance there. more than her physical. She's not going to be taking too many physical attacks in the back row there, so. Just figured I'd clean up some items, maybe bring that unit up. That unit may be getting some fighting action here a little bit later. Bancroft's been getting way too much here, so. Although he has been, you know, holding his own, so. Surprisingly, that Tiamat's not, missed a lot this time. She always keeps missing that, shaman, or the monk in the middle. But, yeah, it's all okay. Orpheus getting a lot of fighting in this battle, too. But that was just, I guess, sneaky thing. They snuck by me there, so. Oh, Orpheus got another level there. So I think that's 3 levels in this map. And we just liberated this city here. Let's see what card we pull out of it. A world card. Good card. Better to draw them at the beginning of the map, though. The fall of Shiguld was the result of one warrior. He was very skilled, but very arrogant about the talent he had. Even a knight of Shiguld was a child compared to him. He was the world's strongest warrior. He continued to search for even greater power, and that is how he fell into the black arts. Always looking for a stronger opponent to fight, he came to Shiguld. He came because he heard that the dragon of all dragons, Bytalth, lived here. The battle between he and Bytalth lasted for 7 days and 7 nights. He won. However, none rejoiced in the dragon's death. They were afraid of its curse. The curse began with the dragon's last breath. Shiguld began to crumble. Not only that, but the curse changed the warrior into the shape of a dragon. To amend for that curse, the gods forced the warrior to stay here. I wonder who that warrior could be. Well, sure we're gonna find out. Who do we go after? The leader? Oh, no, unfortunately, this means we're probably going to defeat the leader if our Tiamat hits. And he didn't. Nice. So, we finished it off there. We have a good card we can use. Because we don't want this one to retreat again, so. We got another round of attacks with all our characters, so. Ouch! Well, I don't think that would probably give Orpheus another level if he didn't just gain a level, so. I don't think that would boost up his experience or his level. Let's check him out here. Nope, he gained 19 experience, so. Yep. So. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, it is 3 levels now. Because he's level 18. I think we started this at level 15. You can tell based on, they always give you level at the, when you save the game. Let's put on strong again, because this guy's gonna, unless our witch paralyzes that mage there, he's gonna hit us. Okay, good. He's gonna hit us pretty hard with his hit all attack, so. The good thing is we won't be able to wake him up at all unless we target him with the leader tactic or the weak tactic, so nice. That one's this unit also, like Bancroft, is doing pretty decent despite, you know, it being the daytime. Now that we're on a city to heal, we can put our paladin up in the front row, get 3 extra attacks, so. And unfortunately, yeah, that will definitely help things out here, so. Sad that our lycanthropes, of course, have those white magic weapons. Not going to deal too much damage to the gold dragon there, but the demon and the paladin will take care of it, so. Let's go. Woohoo! Give it a nightmare. That was a bad nightmare. I had a weird nightmare the other day. So, it's like all these weird things from my past that like I hadn't thought of in like forever. So, I had a friend growing up who had a very big imagination, and he always talked about like ghosts and stuff like that, and based on like the region we were in. Like the one ghost was like the minor ghost. He'd always carry a piece of coal with him because he said there was like a ghost who haunted near his house, and because I grew up in Pennsylvania, you know, the coal region, and he said as long as he carried this like piece of coal and this thing, like all the ghost coal miners wouldn't bother him and stuff like that. So surprisingly, that was like probably the only like coal man minor ghost story that like I can recall from the region, and that was just one that like he made up. You know, you don't normally like you hear like, you know, ghost stories. They're kind of popular, and you hear a bunch of them, but he was the only one who ever said something about like a ghost story. So, you know, probably like I said, just making things up, but he had a vivid imagination, and that was just one of the weird supernatural stories that he would talk about. So he was among a group of friends that I had in grade school who did a lot of like mock videos, like skits and stuff with just a camcorder. So wonder what it would have been like for him and his one friend who did the videos with him, what it would have been like for them in this day and age. You know, he could have probably been like a YouTube content creator or like a TikTok star, or before TikTok there was Vine or whatever like that. So yeah, it's just, I guess he was before his time. So it's back when I was growing up, you know, the internet wasn't even a thing. I mean, it popped up, I think, in around 96 is the first time I can think of remember like really using the internet. I mean, there was like computers and stuff, but he used computers for word processing and for games and all. In my grade school, we had a computer course, but we were just learning like the basics of computers. I know we used to play Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and Oregon Trail on those computers on 5.25 floppy disks. So they were just big, thick disks, and you slid them in, and you had to pull a lever down to lock them in place. So we have a computer lab, I think, once a month. So yeah, it wasn't all that often. So Mrs. Graff was our computer teacher. So I think she taught us, you know, little basic coding and stuff like that. So surprisingly, that's one of the few things that I don't remember too much about what we did in those computer classes. I tend to have a pretty decent memory in terms of my grade school years and stuff like that, but some, I guess I don't remember too much about what we learned in. I have much better memories of my basic class in high school, probably because I did I got it was one of the only classes that I got kicked out of one time, and yeah, I was really I was really annoying to the teacher. My kick-out story was it was Christmas. It was almost Christmas break, and it was almost Christmas break, and most of the teachers didn't have really anything planned, so they just basically, you know, you went to class and you basically sat there and did nothing. Some teachers, you know, they were running like board games and stuff like that, so you can, you know, they'd have board games out for you to play and stuff like that, because, you know, it's like the day before you went on Christmas break. Well, we went to computer class, basic programming, with Mr. Little. He was my teacher, and I was like, Mr. Little, like, do we have to like learn anything today? Like, it's, you know, almost Christmas break. He's like, yeah, we gotta, like, you know, it's important, you know, we gotta go over this stuff, you know. was like, oh man, like, do we have to? And he's like, yes, we have to. And he started talking about go-to statements. And basically, go-to statements is like when you get to a point in the computer program, it tells the computer to go to a certain line in the code. So he goes over, he spends basically like the whole day, the whole class period talking about go-to statements. And then, as soon as he's finished doing that, he's like, now that we know a lot about go-to statements, I just want you all to know that, like, we're never really going to use go-to statements in this class. You know, like, they're not a very good thing to use. So I was like, what's the point of teaching that all? And he was like, hey, one more word out of you and you're going to go to the dean. And I was like, is that a go-to statement? Fogel, the High Knight who lives here, looks like a dragon. He's kind of frightening at first, but he's actually quite kind. A bit blunt, though. Yeah, so, he did not like that remark, and he sent me to the dean, so. The dean was surprised, because the dean was like, Mr. Little never kicks anyone out of class. But, yeah, I did. I guess I got on his nerves. And this unit is, back to fight us in, but it, got a new, leader, and instead of coming to the south to fight Bancroft's unit, it decided to go east. Will it have better luck over on this side? We'll find out. But I got Mr. Little back with the go-to statements because in one lesson we programmed a song. We made a little song, and basically at the end of the song you're supposed to do your end line. But what I ended up doing was before the end line, I added a go-to statement to basically loop it back to the beginning of the song. So like the song may have started on, let's say the song started on line 10, you know, and line 90 was the end line. So I put it like line 80, I had a go-to statement saying, go to line 10. So everybody else's song played once and then hit the end, because that's what the computer told it to do. But my song hit the end, and then it looped back to the beginning, and it just kept playing over and over again. It was basically a repeat button, you know, over and over again. And Mr. Little's like, what's going on? Like, shut that off. And I was like, I can't, Mr. Little. Like, I used the go-to statement. I'm making myself laugh. But yeah, I was like, I used the go-to statement, Mr. Little. I can't. You know. So maybe he would, maybe he was proud that somebody paid attention in his go-to lesson. But, but I did some more computer programming, but not in BASIC. I forget what language I used, but when I was in college. I didn't take a computer course, though. What I ended up doing was I played a game, Ancient Anguish, on computer, and that's basically how I discovered the internet. I didn't have a computer until 96, my sophomore year in high school, and I got it. I bought it for $50 off of my cousin, because he had quite a few computers. He was the same cousin who had bought the Magic the Gathering cards I talked about, the Black Lotus, a few episodes ago. But he had a bunch of computers and stuff. He was, you know, kind of upgrading, and so he just sold me this one because I used to go over to his house and we'd play that game Ancient Anguish, and it was basically you know, like a MMO, but like before MMO, it was a text-based you know, game, and you basically created a character, and then you can, it's like just a typical fantasy game. You can pick a different character. Like, I was a ranger, so I can like tame wolves and stuff like that, and do stuff with the wilderness. You know, you can be a fighter, a necromancer, a normal wizard, a cleric. There's probably something else too, but anyway, so yeah, so you could party with one another, but of course to party with one another you had to have, you know, 2 different computers, you know. So I ended up just buying this one old computer off of him, and then that allowed us to, you know, play the game together. and form parties and stuff like that. But in that game, if you did enough quests and hit level 19, which was the level cap at the time, you could apply for wizardship, and then by doing that, you got to code areas into the game. So I eventually did enough of the quests and the mini quests, and I ended up applying for wizardship, got wizardship, and then started coding my own areas. But in order to code areas, you know, I had to do some coding, so I basically took a bunch of in-game tutorials, had kind of like a little mentor who you know, helped me out and, you know, taught me the little basics of some of the coding. And then they also had a bunch of examples of completed coding projects that you can look into, you know, and you can almost basically, in a sense, like copy-paste. You know, obviously certain things would have to change, you know, but the basics were there for you to copy-paste with. But it was fun. I haven't played that game though in forever though, so you have to connect to a certain program, Mudlet, and I just don't have the time, you know, to do it. So I'd like to eventually one day just maybe create a new character and go through some of those old quests again and see how it was, because some of the quests were very like interesting and caused you to think, especially because, you know, there was no graphics, it was all text, so you had to you know, read a lot and pick up subtle clues and all. But yeah, very fun game. Ancient Anguish. So last I checked, it was about 3 years ago, and it was still up. So maybe I should check it out on if it is. But hey, if you're watching this video, check it out. So I coded 2 areas: rescue station, Tantalin, which was the main city, like a rescue station from there, and then this orc camp. So I actually became a creator, because you coded a certain number of rooms and certain number of monsters and stuff like that. So despite my limited coding skills, I managed to get the creator status in that game. So, but then real life called, and like I said, I haven't played it in like decades. I mean, I did look to see if it was like still around a few years ago, but one of the advantages of being a creator was that your character would never be deleted. So there was a certain thing, like if you didn't log on your character, back when I was a player character, if you didn't log on in like a year, they would delete your character. I guess just to save space on their servers, because I think the game was created by like a bunch of like college folks, so it was initially run off on like a university server. They were probably the only ones back in like the 90s, besides like maybe like the government or military and stuff like that. They probably had big servers. So, but I think eventually they, I know they were having a bunch of fundraisers and stuff like that. I think they, like the people, I guess the creators of the game, eventually bought like a private server. So they got their private server. I wasn't around playing at the time because I was in the military, and you basically got onto this program through Telnet, and Telnet is apparently a type of line that's easily hacked. So even when I got you know, internet through the free AOL CDs, that's how I got internet when I was in the army. I'd go to the commissary, had those like free AOL CDs, and I'd grab one of them and get a free month of internet. Even then I couldn't use Telnet, but apparently because they were migrating from like the private server to from a university server to a private server, they made like a chaos mode where they let you basically like play the game and do anything, like stuff that you couldn't normally do. So you can fight other players, but only if you're in this group called the Society of Killers, and if you tried to attack somebody and you weren't in that group, you can, you know, potentially be banned. But because it was chaos mode, because nothing was getting they had already backed up the stuff to the new private server. They were like, well, you know, all this stuff, whatever happens on these like final day or the final week on this, you know, college server, isn't going to be transferred over to the new server. So just go out and have fun, do whatever you want, type deal. You know, it would. I wasn't involved, but it would have been really interesting to be involved in that time because I was. There were a few quests that I never managed to beat because I didn't have the levels or wasn't strong enough. But as a wizard, you're invincible. Like nothing can kill you because you have, you know, infinite hit points and nothing even attacks you. It basically just like, you know, the monster sees that you're a wizard and doesn't fight you. So it would have been interesting to go back and, you know, just defeat some of these monsters that I couldn't defeat, you know, back when I was a regular player character, or go back and just use your wizard power, because when you were coding monsters, you know, you should see how they reacted and see how their stats, see how they were in battle and stuff like that. But then if you wanted to, like, just, you know, destroy them instantly, you had a command, the zap command, and zap just basically reduced anything to 0 hit points. So if you were like fighting an enemy, then you could zap it, then work on the code again, then reload it. Yeah, it'd be interesting to like run around and just be zapping things, you know. Let's go, Orpheus. Let's see if you can zap these guys. Good. Let's see, you need to zap them quickly before they hurt the griffin. Yeah, the griffin's it's a good thing that one missed his attack, because he can only survive. He might not have been able to survive if both of them attacked. So, but now it's retreating, and our Lich unit will take care of it. I was almost about ready to have that fight, but look what happened. We gotta fight up this way. So, seems like we've been fighting this unit way too much. But I wonder how many of these units there are. Let me look here. Probably only 3 of them, but it seems like we fought more than 3. The mages and the sylphs. Let's see here. What do we got? Yeah, we got 3 of them, so maybe it's just that they're annoying because they keep popping up or whatever. But it looks like there's too many more units to go, so we'll take this one out, and then we'll have Orpheus go around, collect some treasures, some more flying around the map, any more hidden temples and cities to find. Alright, so this will be a curb stomp battle right here real quick, almost as if it was using the zap spell, like an ancient anguish. Zap. And the Raven Man is done. My cousin, he ended up he was like one of the best players in that game. He keeps playing that game. He still plays it to this day. At least the last time I talked with him, which was, like I said, about a year ago. Well, about a year. Well, I mean, I've talked to him since then, but I think like a year ago that we talked about the game. But I know he was I said a while ago that the level cap was 19. Well, they changed a bunch of stuff up a few years ago, and the level cap now is 50. And he was one of the first characters. He was actually the first character to ever reach level 50. He might have been, at the time, he was the only person who reached level 50. He was like I said, one of the top players. He pretty much did all the quests. He did, does all these different, like, sub-goals that you can do. It's like most dragons killed, most orcs killed, most, you know, giants killed and stuff like that. And he was pretty much the leaderboard in, like, all of them, so, like, that game was almost his life. So, but, yeah, they had in the one city, they had a statue. We thank you for all you have done. Honors to the rebel forces, of, like, the there was all these boards. I think there was like 10 different boards, you know, and like one was like I said most experience, you know, highest level. So obviously, like highest level. So obviously he was like the leader on that board, and then like most dragons killed, he was the leader on that board. And you know, you got points for signed for, you know, each, you know, your ranking on each of the boards, and whoever had the most points based on all those boards, like they got a statue of them like coded into the game. And so it's pretty interesting to know that like you're like, whoa, my one relative is like the top player in the whole world in this game. There are many dragons living in the mountains around Shiguld. If you don't have many, now might be a good time to pick some up. We have more than enough. We have 3. So, but that's all we need, because, well, no, we have 4. Because remember, we got the, we're gonna have 2 black dragons. We wanted the Tiamat, and we wanted the zombie dragon. So, yeah, we have 4. Tiamat, zombie dragon, and then we're going to get the, eventually we'll get the Salaman, which is the top red dragon, and then we'll also get the platinum dragon, which is the top gold dragon, the good dragon. Somewhere in the world is the heroic symbol, the fire crest. That item is supposed to have power even as great as the zodiac stones. Many warriors have gone out looking for it, and the glory it gives. Like I said, we can get the fire seal if we have the 4 weapons of the wind gods, but we won't be able to get the 4 weapons of the wind gods because we're recruiting Fogel. If you don't recruit Fogel, you just come back here and you get his sword, the Ziphalus sword. You dare turn against Rashidi? You dare to bring your war to the peace of the Sky Islands? Die! And here is Fogel, the last of the 3 High Knights. And as you can see, he has a dragon-like appearance. So he was cursed. Yep, he was the warrior who defeated that ultimate dragon. Bytalth, or whatever. Bytalth. Looking at my notes, I was trying to remember what it was right off the top of my head, but I was like, why am I doing that? I have my notes right in front of me. Bytalth, the dragon. So luckily this battle ain't too hard. Fogel hits hard, but he only has that 1 attack. He's in the back row. So it's just a matter of hoping that our liches can cut through, because they just keep missing. Let's go. Might have to take another round to do this. Let's see, come on. Of course. Right as we would have defeated him, that one would have finished him off, but nope. It just finished off his little Tiamat that he has with him, and then we're just gonna have to fight him again. But yeah, it's okay. As you see, we really had no trouble with that thing. He just got lucky and dodged our attacks. But our units, like I said, all our characters are fully healed up. Yeah, so he won't be able to finish us off here. It's nice that he did a lot of damage to himself. We were doing like 50 some with the phantoms that the liches were doing. So maybe one of them may have actually not been able to defeat him. But now that he weakened himself down because of that his own attack, one phantom finished him off. What happened? Rashidi, so you have broken the spell placed on me. I thank you. But to thank you, I'll fight alongside you until the Empire is destroyed. After we repay Rashidi for what he has done to me, and you rebels without a doubt deserve my help. Come, let us show Rashidi what true power is. Alright, we have liberated Shiguld, the last of the floating islands, and we recruited the last of the High Knights. Nice. And with that, we are now able to move, stop concentrating in the heavens and go back to the earth. And so Orpheus only gained 2 levels. He started at level 16, but still, that's a lot of levels. So now we can go back to earth and choose which way we want to go into the heart of the Empire, through the Dalman Desert or through the Ryan Sea. Find out in our next episode. Thanks for following along. Bye!